It's Super Bowl media week. It's been a fun one. We're talking grass. We're talking maybe a lit Shanahan. We're talking a little JFK conspiracy. I don't know. It's Super Bowl media week. We'll find out where this goes. New Sprint Right Option podcast starts now.
Welcome everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it. Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners. Sprint Right Option podcast. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We are live. It's a new Sprint Right Option podcast. I am Andrew Pasquini sitting in Sacramento, California, joined as always by Jason Aponte on the other side of the country, one of the most beautiful states in the Union, New Jersey. The Garden State, I believe they call it. Is that what it is? It's
Yeah.
Garden State, I believe.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far, but yeah, you got it.
You know, beautiful, beautiful state. I'm sure plenty of views. Sprint Right Up Your podcast. I know I said that already, but a lot going on, Jason. I don't know if you've heard this. I got a hat actually to. Oops, that's wrong. So I got a hat to confirm it. The 49ers have a football game this Sunday. Pretty important. Don't know if you've heard about it. It's called the Super Bowl, and we're here to talk about that today. Not necessarily the game. We'll talk about the game, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the 49ers on Friday. That'll be the preview then. This is the brand, the Super Bowl episode, everything that's happened with Media Day, with the grass, all that fun stuff. Some thoughts about the game as well. But first, as we always start, most important question of the podcast, Jason Aponte. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Today's a big day, obviously, because we're talking Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Today's a bigger day for the Sprint Right Option podcast, and we got 54 people in here. I kind of wanted to let everybody get in here before we make our announcement. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for when we go live. But I want Andrew to actually announce what's to do. Yeah,
I get to announce.
I'm going to take away the overlay. I'm going to take away the overlay real quick because it needs to be shown. I'm going to take away the overlay real quick. I want Andrew to make the big announcement about the Sprint Right Option podcast.
Yeah, so hello. I woke up to an interesting text this morning from one Jason Aponte. He's been working on something, but I have been lucky enough to be involved with it. Jason Aponte and I, dare I say the Sprint Right Option podcast, we are going to be live for the Super Bowl. And not only are we going to be live for the Super Bowl, we are going to be live for the Super Bowl on BR, formerly Bleacher Report. Not only are we going to be live on the BR app and BR, we're actually going to be live in San Francisco at Underdog's Cantina across the street from Oracle Park for a Super Bowl watch party. Jason's going to pull up we have a little graphic here. There it is. This is the graphic we're working with. Jason Aponte is very cool. He's got the very model shot of that. We've seen that photo. That is not a real photo of me. That is me photoshopped on a suit because I don't have nice model photos like Jason Aponte. But I just got a lot of the information today. I'm still on cloud nine about it. We're actually going to be streaming. And this was the thing that I didn't know about until I talked with our Connect today. We're going to be streaming live, actually simulcasted with two Kansas City Chiefs content creators, and I actually wrote down their names, so I want to give them their credit. It's BJ Kissel and Haley Lewis. I believe those are the names. Heard them once, wrote them down. If I got their names wrong, we'll have that all correct Friday. Yeah, man, we're going to be live. We're going to be talking with the two Chiefs content creators during the game. We're going to be live post-game regardless of what happens. So you're either going to get very happy, Andrew and Jason, or very miserable, Jason and Andrew, a little bit on the BR app. But I know we say this so much on this podcast, Jason, because I feel like we do a lot of cool things together. So much of this, like, hey, man, we're thankful for everybody who watches this podcast. I see Sin, I see Paul, I see Daniel Garcia, I see Axel, a lot of names. Jesse's in there. A lot of names that have been here since day one. None of this is possible without any of you. I'm still working on my side of the paperwork and the detail, but we're at a point where we're pretty confident we can unveil this. I know a lot of you might be in Vegas for the game. If you're in San Francisco still looking for something to go do, we'll be at Underdog's Cantina, live show on the BR app, on the BR website, all that fun stuff. Yeah, man. I like you. This is really the first because like I work a 9 to 5. I had to deal a lot with the stuff the phone call earlier today, so I haven't had time to process because I just got off of work, and this is my first time. Like, remember the bit I did after the Niners won the NFC Championship game? Where I was like, "Oh, I was waiting for Jason to say it." Like, "Oh, it's special." Like, this is legitimately the first time this is hitting me that we are doing this, and none of this is possible without any of you guys. So I'm excited. We'll have more details on Friday, but we just. I mean, I filled out I filled out some paperwork today, so I'm pretty confident in saying it. But we'll give you more details on Friday. Oh yeah, it's done. I signed my name on some documents. I'm feeling pretty good. But we'll have a lot more details on Friday to come.
It's done. I'm flying out Friday. I'm gonna be around the entire weekend. If you guys are around, and you guys don't need something to do, come on down to Underdog's Cantina. It's a family friendly place. They have arcade, they have a kids menu, things like that. We're gonna watch the game. And I'm just proud of this podcast to be able to partner with Bleacher Report on the first ever Super Bowl stream that they've ever done on the BR app. And this is the first of many. Friday you'll get a single stream from me as well too while Andrew's working on the BR app. So we're moving, and this was on the heels of me kind of feeling very bad because some unfortunate things happened for me to not be in Las Vegas. But if I was in Vegas, I wouldn't be able to pull this off. And being able to be in San Francisco with the 49er fans and hopefully they do what we think they're going to do, and to be able to bring this podcast to a bigger audience during the Super Bowl in the biggest game for 3 straight hours and then a post game. It's going to be tough, but yeah, it's locked in. If you guys are around on the weekend and you need something to do, come on down to Underdogs Cantina. It's a done deal. 3:00 is when it starts. Again, kids friendly, kids menu, arcade, everything. Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited, man. I'm just proud of Andrew and I, and I'm proud of the community that we built. Again, none of this is possible if you guys don't support us and show up all the time. And yeah, man, we're gonna get to sit and watch the 49ers in the Super Bowl. This is a full circle moment from not only the beginning of the season from when we first started the podcast, but yeah, we'll see you guys there, man. Absolutely. Yeah, it won't be on YouTube. Bleacher Report. If the 49ers do what I think they're going to do, the post-game show will be fully uncensored in the streets of San Francisco, most likely me streaking through the streets. So, yeah, just, hold off. It's not going to be done one way or another.
If you want to see Andrew Pasquini cry on the internet, if the Niners win, tune into the BR app, because I'll be breaking down in tears in front of millions and millions, as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would say, of people. And listen, there's a million things to be excited about for this, but here's my personal one. This is the first thing that popped into my head, Jason, when you told me this, and I don't want people to think I'm saying this because we do a podcast together or because I'm here with you. It's since we started this, Jason Aponte, the Sprint Red Option podcast, 49ers Noir live show, whatever you want, back to day one, back into 2020. My goal was to watch a 49ers game with Jason Aponte, like in the same room. I'm in Sacramento, Jason's in Jersey. And for not only this to be streamed on BR, for us to be able to do this on the Super Bowl, that's all great, but I am finally going to get to be in the same room watching a San Francisco 49ers game with Jason Aponte. And that is something that I wanted to do, and for it to be in this capacity for this game, Jason, I cannot wait for you to see what a nervous wreck I am during Niner games.
You got to keep it together, man. You got to keep it together.
I'm absolutely going to keep it together. It's just, man, I'm absolutely going to keep it together. Definitely going to. It's every stream we've done. This is, dare I say, Jason, this is the Super Bowl of Sprint Red Option podcasts.
You know what? I'll let it go, man. I'll let it slide. I'm just gonna let it slide.
Oh man, they got to be real quick with that censor button though. If Jake Moody lines up for a field goal, ooh, well, Jason, I'm excited.
The thing is, I'm excited. I cannot curse. I cannot curse.
Yeah, we're not going to curse. We're not going to curse.
No, like I'm literally just gonna have to like close the mic off and just yell into air. I'm just gonna walk over to you and hug you. Just be like, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. No, it's not gonna be okay. It won't be okay.
Oh man. So yeah, man.
Especially after we haven't spoken. Especially after Jake Moody so casually cooked me.
Oh my God! You want to talk about that too? You want to talk about your cameo? Okay. But anyways, we'll wrap this up. We'll talk about Jason's cameo. be our app Sunday, 3:30 game time. We'll have more information ideally Friday. If not, we'll definitely have it to you before the game on Sunday. Very, very exciting. Jason, Jake Moody owns you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's all in good fun, man.
Yes.
Honestly, so obviously you guys know what cameos are, and our good friend Sour Death Sam, he likes to have a lot of fun. I love his
Yep.
show.
We love
And
him.
he paid Jake Moody to say those things about me. But I'll tell you this, Jake Moody, I will tell you this. I swear to Superman, you miss an extra point in this game, you miss a field goal in this game, the slander never stops. No pressure, buddy. No pressure, buddy. No pressure. I had a nice little laugh. We all had a nice little laugh, but it'll be up and stuck. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Taken. Thank you very much.
Take it
We
25.
appreciate
Thank you so much for the donation, for the celebration tequila shots. 100%. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. And I do think the San Francisco 49ers are going to win this game, obviously, right? Like
it.
today's not the
No.
day to start picking against them. But thank you, man. You've been a long time supporter. You've been someone who has been here the entire time with us and is always popping in, man. Really appreciate it. Very generous of you, man. And hope everything's going well with you and your family, man.
We appreciate you making 25. Yeah, tequila shots. We love it. We're celebrating. It's going to be a celebration on Sunday. That's what we're feeling. Jason, as you said, no spoilers, but we're picking the Niners to win this game. I don't know why we would pick any time to not pick the Niners. This would be the worst time to not pick the
Imagine.
Niners.
Well, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna win this one. Where we literally
Yeah, this is the one they might lose. Although
19,
I might
through 19 games, we're literally going like every week Niners.
I've kind of pushed my back against the wall though, because we've done the playoff picks, right, Jason? And every time we've picked the AFC games, specifically the Chiefs, I think the Bills are better. I think the Ravens are better, but until Mahomes loses, I'm not picking against Mahomes. And now here we are in the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes on the other side still. Jason, it's been a whirlwind of a few days on 49ers Twitter. That's not necessarily new, but it's also Super Bowl media week. A lot of crazy things are happening. I guess we'll start with maybe the biggest news that might affect the game, might not affect the game. We don't know. The Niners have a grass issue. You would think a California team wouldn't have issue with grass. It's things like that. But I've seen a lot of numbers, like the average softness of football fields are supposed to be like 75 or whatever that fictional number means. Niners are practicing at a field at UNLV, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. It's rated in the 50s, something like that, like something real bad. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it means anything for the game. I know everything I've read is the Niners are being very polite about it publicly, as they should be. I think that's a pretty obvious step. But everything I'm hearing internally, the Niners aren't very thrilled. And I don't want to be one of those people. Like, we're going to start hot here, Jason Aponte. I don't want to be one of those people who are like, well, the NFL's rigging things. Like, if you think like Taylor Swift being a part of the Chiefs or why they're in the Super Bowl, you've ignored the last 6 years, because the Chiefs are very good. They didn't need Taylor Swift. But remember the OG meme of the tinfoil hat, Jason Aponte? This is where I'll put it on. If you want to pinpoint some sort of NFL rigged thing, this one feels really, really weird, because the Chiefs get to practice at the Raiders' state-of-the-art facility indoors in Nevada, and the Niners got delegated to UNLV, and I believe they're practicing outside as well, and there's been some rain in Nevada. So, Jason, my question to you, does any of this matter?
No. All right. It only matters if someone gets injured.
Yes.
And today it was talked about that the guys couldn't go full speed. Tomorrow's going to be the first day that they actually can go full speed, because they're going to ramp up before the game, before the day off on Saturday. So, no, look, the 49ers aren't going to lose because of the practice field.
No.
The 49ers aren't going to win because of the practice field.
No.
They're going to win because they're the better team. They're going to win because they execute more.
Yeah.
They're going to win because, dare I say, they end up with more points than the Kansas City Chiefs when the clock strikes 0. I think there's a long layoff in between the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl. And I have many thoughts about media week because even last year when I was there, many of these stupid fucking questions were being thrown out there. I know it was too painful for 49er fans to watch media week last season. That's why you didn't notice it. But no, none of this. It's just there's too much time. There's too much time in between this game. And there's not like everyone's been breaking down this game and this matchup since the buzzer sounded against the Lions.
Yes.
And now it's been a week and some change, and you can't keep reiterating the same points, and you can't just come up with new information because it's all kind of just been there. So you got to have something to talk about. And why not talk about this? Now, look, the 49ers, they've said, look, we're just going to deal with it. Once Kyle Shanahan on media day said, we got to move on. I don't care. It is what it is. That's it. I didn't even give it a second thought, even if I never gave it a first one. So again, there's just too much time in between the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl. And now this is the point of contention. Obviously, Kyle Shanahan spoke today and said, we couldn't go full speed. We couldn't really let it rip because they were a little bit worried about that. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. But again, the 49ers won't win or lose based on the practice field. That won't be the X factor in this game.
Yeah, I'm very much of the thought of this is game, 20 of the season now, 21, whatever it may be. I don't know particularly how much practice is going to help at this point. Obviously, there's very specific things team to team that they're going to have to deal with. Obviously, there's things they got to prepare for with the Chiefs that they didn't have to prepare for the Lions, things like that. But at this point, if we're complaining about not getting enough practice in Super Bowl week, it just does nothing. I'm unmoved by it, Jason. I think that'll be the word I use. It's definitely a weird thing, especially and Twitter's kind of a mess at this point, especially with the Super Bowl. But it's how much of this is true? Is this? Did the Chiefs already say no to sharing the practice field with them? Which I don't blame the Chiefs for doing it because
they don't have to do anything.
For Christ's sake, it's the Super Bowl.
They don't have to do anything.
I would be more annoyed by the Chiefs if they said yes. Let's be honest. If the situations were flipped and the Niners were the one not worrying about practice fields and if the Niners had said yes to sharing I would not be thrilled. And I don't know how much is true out there. All that it seems is that the Niners aren't happy. Is this something that we should blame if the Niners lose? Absolutely not. Is Kyle being maybe a little drunk on Monday night something we blame? No, absolutely not.
I have thoughts about that as well too.
Oh, we absolutely. If you thought we didn't have thoughts on Kyle Shanahan's performance on Monday, you guys are dead wrong.
And but Rory, real quick, Rory, the 49ers shared with the Ravens in the same position. Brothers. Harbaugh. One Harbaugh washes the other Harbaugh hand. Completely different, in my opinion. Completely different. And that's very nice of the Baltimore Ravens, but they don't have to do shit.
Yeah, that's a little different, and that's true too. It is a good thing to do. It's an ethical thing to do, but it's the Super Bowl, for God's sake. Don't do it. But it's as Jason says, it's been now. Where are we at? Today's Wednesday. It's been 10 days since the last football game. Last week was the first week without football since August? Yeah. These are the things that we talk about now.
The Pro Bowl.
Oh my God, the Pro Bowl. Oh my God. Did you see Tua's accuracy?
While I am a staunch hater of special teamers, the coolest event was kick-tack-toe. Easily the coolest event. That is awesome.
I'm a big fan of the don't they have a driving contest?
Do they?
Like a golf. It's a golf who can drive the furthest. Yeah. I'm into that. I'm into watching football players not do football. I think that's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But it's just one of these things. Yes, the Niners are going to be upset about it. If they were so upset about it, I guarantee you they could have found closest to the pin. That's what it is, Rory. Thank you, Rory. It's closest to the pin. They would have found an alternative, right? That's my thing is I don't think the NFL would have said, okay, you don't feel comfortable at this practice field. You can't move though. I know Goodell said what he said about it being unanimously approved as a good field, which I don't even know how that, what does that mean? They're not practicing. I guarantee you they didn't get 23 NFL players to go run a practice on this field and say, yep, this is good. It was probably just nerds who look at grass. Remember last year when they had a guy invent a brand new type of grass for the Super Bowl and then everybody slipped on it?
I was there. They had a
The
press conference for the Sod father, and he
the
had people
fact
around him, and it literally was. I'm just like, I was there, and I'm on the field in the stadium in Arizona last year, and the Sod father's holding a press conference, and I literally wanted to yell from the top of my lungs, "Who gives a shit about the field?" Like really, like it does. But then, hey,
it ended up,
slipping and
but
sliding.
why is this now the second year in a row? You would think the NFL, one of the biggest corporations, not just in America or the world, would be able to figure out grass. I live in my apartment in Sacramento, and I like to consider myself pretty good with grass, but the NFL can't seem to figure it out in February. I don't know why. It's weird. But again, it's just one of those talking points. Jason, enough about grass. Let's talk about alcohol. Uh,
Nah, I love that
was Kyle
transition.
was Kyle Shanahan?
This
Yeah,
is
I know.
Super
Thank
Bowl.
you.
That's Super Bowl. That is
It's
right
Super
there.
Bowl. Yeah,
Super
yeah.
Bowl
No,
pivot.
grass. We're talking Taylor Swift's box. A lot of things going on. But Kyle Shanahan, maybe not drunk at at media night. I thought it was fun. I know a lot of people on Niners, so not a lot. I saw some people complaining like, "Oh, he's not locked in." I like this is the world that I live in. I like to think that like Kyle Shanahan, because I do this a little bit, Jason, and I'm not in the NFL, but Monday nights after our podcast, after games, I just watch Monday Night Football. I don't think anything about the 49ers. I take my brain away from the 49ers. I like to think that Kyle Shanahan's Monday night routine is just to get hammered and watch football. And he was like, well, it's the Super Bowl. Why am I going to change any of this? I don't know. I don't know if he was drunk or not. I wasn't there. I know some people said he didn't seem to be intoxicated of any sorts. He just seemed like he was in a good mood. And we're very used to Kyle Shanahan not in a good mood. And I enjoyed it, whether or not he was drunk or not, whatever it may be. I just enjoyed seeing him the way he was.
Okay. First off, this is the most pressure-packed game of the season.
Yes.
If you think Kyle Shanahan's not locked in, touch some grass. I would ask anyone that's watching this that has had a rough day or a job or something that's got you under pressure in any way, right? Because at the end of the day, Kyle Shanahan's coaching a football game. While it's very important, many of us have issues that are life-threatening at times. You might lose your job if you don't perform. You might get evicted if you can't pay your bills. You might not eat if you don't have money. We've all been stressed, right? And what do you do usually when you're stressed? You have a drink. You pour
Yeah.
something up. You go and you do something and you sit in your house and you find a way to relax. Not only was Kyle Shanahan going to one of the most pointless things that you could do in the entire season of the NFL, which is media week, which is finding out what your favorite fucking SpongeBob character is, finding out if you can do impressions of Kermit the Frog, telling someone that you lost a bet that you thought Trey Lance was going to start and you shaved your head and I'm sorry, Brock Purdy. Literally the dumbest fucking questions that you've ever
Yes.
heard in your life. An exercise in futility. Everyone looking for a stupid quote. Maybe a handful of questions that actually have to do with anything tangible about football. And Kyle Shanahan had the day off. Do you think that Kyle Shanahan is out getting lit? If he was, which I'm not saying he was, if he was, and then going to grab the play sheet, let's have a fake punt on four. Like,
Yeah.
okay. So I would ask anyone who has ever had a rough day, who has ever had a rough set of circumstances, how do you relax? The man was literally going to do an exercise in futility, which was go to that stupid media day where people were asking the worst questions you ever heard in your life. He had the day off. And I'll ask you, and I'll leave it with this. One of the many criticisms about Kyle Shanahan is he's too tight. He's too wound up. I don't know. He's kind of, now he's loose, and now he's not locked in. Guys, we cannot have it both ways. I want to say this one last thing. This game on Sunday is going to be the most stressed that you've been as a 49ers fan, maybe ever. Because I feel like everyone wants this one more than they ever have wanted one, especially considering the circumstances and who's playing on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There is too much time in between the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Please stop stressing yourself out on Monday,
Yes.
on Tuesday, on Wednesday. There is plenty of time on Sunday to be stressed.
Yes.
Doesn't mean a thing. I don't know if he was. I don't know if he wasn't,
Yeah.
but I would ask anyone listening or watching this, anytime that you've been stressed in any way, you find a way to be stress-free. How? I don't know how you
Yeah.
relax. I hope you do have a way to relax. And also, maybe when you're feeling good and you kind of know what you're about to do, you can kick back a little bit more.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah.
The practice field and this, relax.
Yeah.
Please. The game is going to be stressful enough on Sunday. That's it. I'm done.
I really liked how last week, because you remember last week when John Lynch was like, "Yeah, man, we're gonna be focused. And then Charvarius Ward was like, "Yeah, man, can't wait to get litty in Vegas the first night." And everybody got mad at Charvarius, like, "Dude, come on, like." They're people. Like Kyle Shanahan may or may not be intoxicated on a Monday night, 6 days before the Super Bowl. It doesn't mean he's any more or less locked in. I just found it so funny that Ward was the one to come out and say that. Everybody jumping on Ward, and then Shanahan just. I'm just gonna say he was in a world of bliss on Monday night. How about that? I'm gonna stop saying the may or may not have been intoxicated. He was in a world of bliss, and I like my Shanahan like that. I think. I mean, remember the criticisms he got when he was asked if Jimmy Garoppolo was a starter, and he said, "I don't know if we're gonna be alive on Sunday."
He was so stressed.
That's the this is the opposite, and I loved like even him just like. He was maybe stumbling on words a little bit, and he was just vibing, and he was having a good time, and that's. I like that. I personally like seeing that out of Kyle Shanahan. Whether or not it was because of another substance that was helping him feel that way, I don't care. I liked seeing that Kyle Shanahan. It was just so refreshing and so fun. And I don't even necessarily mind grumpy Kyle Shanahan. I like grumpy Kyle Shanahan. He's fun. Jason does a great impression of it, right? But just seeing this side of him was just nice, and it was enjoyable. And I hope we see this side of Kyle a little bit more. And who knows, maybe if the Niners win this game on Sunday, that's what Kyle Shanahan we're going to get for the rest of time. I don't know, but I liked it. I thought a lot of people, stop me if you've heard this one before, Jason Aponte, 49ers Twitter may have overreacted a little bit on Monday night because I saw the tweet, because like I was in Seattle, I was, hanging out, and I saw the tweets of like, oh my God, he's drunk. Oh my God. And it's like, what are we talking about? And the video started to roll through. I'm like, he just seems like he's having a good time. And that's it. That's it. He was tipsy at most, and he was just having it'd be one. If yes, we got it. It's allegedly. He was allegedly tipsy at most. Is that better, Jason?
Yeah.
Is that better? Okay.
My God, man.
Yeah.
Again, a lot of the things that happen on 49ers Twitter and the way you react is based on your personal perspective on almost everything in life.
Yes.
If you're an like an overly worrisome, negative person, yeah. Oh, he's not focused. Oh, he's not focused.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, view someone who is going through the motions of this horrific media day and is loose because he knows what he's about to do.
Yeah.
So he might be locked into the point where I know exactly what I'm about to do.
Exactly.
And why doesn't that never gets brought up? It's always, you got to be stone faced. Everyone hates Bill Belichick for like the way that he's like that, whatever, right? Like, but like other people react differently. And for as much shit as you give Kyle Shanahan for being tight at times, being condescending, when you see this, now it's a problem. You can't have it both ways. Yeah. Who cares, man? Who cares? Who really cares? You know what we should care about? We should care about whether Dre Greenlaw is going to get a fucking Brock Purdy tattoo on his face, whether he wins the Super Bowl or not. Because that's the hard hitting. Was
question. That another way? I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, those are the hard hitting questions that we should be focused on. Is Dre Greenlaw going to get a Brock Purdy face tattoo? If it guaranteed him a Super Bowl win? Dre Greenlaw looked at the question and said, "Holy shit, that's weird." That's what we should be. I mean, that's what we need to focus on.
Was that really his response?
Yes, he said that.
I need this video. I missed that. I need this video.
KP tweeted it.
Oh, I need it. The one I was gonna reference, just because I'm a nerd and I like this side of American history. But I like that I can quote one of the greatest bars in music history, from Billy Joel. And in case you're wondering how wide I am, one of the greatest bars to me in music history is JFK, blown away. What else do I have to say? You know, that from We Didn't Start the Fire.
Right.
And now that's canonical to 49ers Twitter because one person tweeted that Brock Purdy may or may not look like Lee Harvey Oswald. And like, that's fine. It's Twitter, right? That's totally fine. People tweet dumb shit every day. Brock Purdy looks nothing like Lee Harvey Oswald. I just want to take that stand. But it gets ridiculous when Brock Purdy is asked about it to his face. That's ridiculous to me. Why do you think Brock Purdy would care about whether or not he looks like Lee Harvey Oswald? Can we start, Jason? Maybe that could be an off-season episode. We can find 49er doppelgangers in American history. Maybe we can do that. That's an off-season pod.
Stop letting everyone go to the Super Bowl and stop giving us 300 days in between the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl.
Was it Isaiah Pacheco? Did you see the video of the Blue Man Group with Isaiah Pacheco?
Yeah.
Was it Pacheco? And he just looked like, what the hell is going on right now? Like,
I just like, all right. The kids asking Brock Purdy about the SpongeBob thing, you know, what's yeah, but they're Nickelodeon.
Yeah, they're the kids.
They're Nickelodeon. But when a grown man asks Patrick Mahomes, can you do a Kermit the Frog impression? And Patrick Mahomes is far better than me. Because he said, I'm talking. I would have been like, who is that? Get him out of here and get his credential up out of here. Like, you got to stop letting everyone go to these things. Not everyone belongs.
Yeah.
Not everyone deserves. They do not. Last year when I went, right, and as hard as it was, I gritted my teeth and spoke to all the Philadelphia Eagles, and I was upset because they were talking crazy. Yeah. But I went to Lane Johnson and asked him about his adductor injury and how he had to work through that. How hard is it to come up with questions that are relevant to actual football? I talked to Trey Sermon and I asked him about Trey Lance and what he thinks about him. These are all questions that are relevant to the person, to the game of football. Not everyone deserves to cover this goddamn Super Bowl. NFL, you got to weed and vet these people out, man. Vet them out better. This is insane.
Yeah. No, like as I said, like some of the ridiculousness is obviously planted. They have people in there to get the clicks and all that stuff. But yeah, man, it's I'm not saying it's hard as a content creator with all this shit going on around it, but it's like when you're trying to find like anything valuable or anything of note,
people
it's
just
like,
want, all right.
It's the Lee Harvey Oswald question.
Right.
It's all the, and it's like, that's the only clip I can find. And it's like, I'm sure there's Jose Sanchez, he posted one of his questions, or somebody posted one of his questions. Like, that's a good question. It's stuff like that. And so like, it has nothing to do, like, I know the Super Bowl media week has turned into just a click fest, and that's kind of what everything has turned into. But at some point, it's just like, it needs to be about the game as well. And that's where I'm at with it.
So last year, someone asked Nick Sirianni, is the Super Bowl a must-win game? What? No,
like,
that's not.
That's something I'll jokingly ask you on Friday. Like, Jason, is this the can't lose, must win? And like I know it's a dumb question, but like, it's a podcast, and I'm asking Jason Aponte.
So someone else told Jalen Hurts, in the beginning of the year, I didn't think, and I said many times that you wouldn't be able to lead this team to the Super Bowl, and I apologized. And Jalen Hurts said, cool.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Like, why is everyone allowed to be here and ask these questions, man? It is very, very easy to ask questions. I mean, a lot of people are nervous, you know, because you got to get through the scrum and you have to have a loud voice. Me, I don't give a shit. I'm a loudmouth. I'm going to get my shit off. Like, you're not going to get like, that's why when I'm at the combine and everybody's there and I get to ask my question, I'm asking. I don't care. But I'm going to ask a relevant question, something that can be newsworthy and it can be used. You are not going to catch me asking some goofy question like, I shaved my head because I said Trey Lance was going to start over you and I apologize. Who cares, dork? Yeah. Or someone else has said, Isaiah Pacheco, you carried my fantasy team. Who cares, dork? Why are you allowed to be there? You've got to start letting people who actually write, who actually cover teams, who actually care about putting out knowledgeable information be there. It's insane, man. It's insane.
Yeah, and like Ugo here makes a good point. Have a separate day for the silly questions. Yeah, you could even do that. Have Monday night, the opening night, have that be the stupid fun, everybody kind of let in. But then after that, like it just needs to be about the game at some point, about the Super Bowl. Get the right people in asking good questions, all that stuff. Because as I said, it's so hard to find good. Like KP just posted a tweet like 7 minutes ago, and I lost it. But he asked him what he asked Brock Purdy the differences between Iowa State's offense and the Niners' offense, the verbiage. And I haven't had a chance to watch the video because it just popped up. But like that's a good question. Things like that, and it's not necessarily knocking because there's a lot of content creators out there that I think it's very cool. They're out there, and a lot of people have worked hard. But there's just so many people that there's so much. You just got to cut the fat. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like if you want to have the ridiculous stuff, just leave it to Monday. Let Monday opening night let everybody in. But from there, it just needs to be. It should just be about the Super Bowl and the game itself. I mean, even too like, I get it that these are figures in the public and things get out, but like we're 5 days away from a very big game for Patrick Mahomes. We don't need to be asking about his dad being arrested, things like that. It's just like time and place to me, right? Like, yes, it's he has to deal with it, and I'm sure as hell he doesn't want to have to be dealing with it this week. And so that's just where I'm at with it. It used to be fun. This media stuff used to be fun way back when, but with social media and all this stuff, it's just we've lost the plot essentially. As I understand, everything's about clicks and likes and retweets and all that stuff and getting your numbers up, but we just kind of lost the plot.
Here it is. Here's your question to Brock Purdy. This is exactly what I would ask him, and I would ask him this one thing. Brock, the Kansas City Chiefs defense does a great job of disguising their coverages, right? They'll give you a single high look. It'll rotate to two high. How is it that you're going to be able to counteract that? And will you be able to identify quick enough the looks that you're going to be getting from Steve Spagnuolo? How fucking hard is that? How hard is it to come up with a question like that? What challenges does the Kansas City defense present to you? I've looked on film and I've seen a single high look that rotates to a two high safety look where they bring blitzes from nickel corners and the corner blitz. How are you going to be able to identify that? Is there anything that you've been able to watch on tape that will help you identify that? Boom, boom, boom. You get a question about scheme, you get a question about preparation, and you get a question and an answer to all of them. It's not hard. If you're there for the right reasons, if you're there to you can entertain and inform. Entertaining is not asking Dre Greenlaw what his favorite cupcake is. I don't care, right? Like that's the thing. Just don't let Brock get down big, and you should be fine. Yeah, against Kansas City, you can't do that. Rod's right, but all right, enough about that. Enough.
Yes. Enough media day, Jason. We're getting near the end of the podcast. I already said we're going to talk about the game on Friday. That's going to be the preview. We're going to make picks. We're going to make predictions. All that stuff.
Because we have our, someone made a very good point. That we should give out the address because there are 3 Underdogs cantinas. So do you want to drop the news one more time on here?
Yes, I already I messaged Kyle already to get a graphic with the address. So
it's up. I've got it already, but we already got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll run it one more time. I got you.
Yes, so we will be, and I want to make sure I get the address correct since I have it as well. We will be at. Why can't I find my? Oh, that's because I'm in the wrong text message thread.
It's all right.
I texted to somebody.
I got it right here if you need it. Yeah. So again, guys, we announced earlier on the pod, if you guys are in the San Francisco area, we will be hosting a Super Bowl watch party for Bleacher Report, going live on the Bleacher Report app, streaming the entire time, Andrew and I, at Underdogs Cantina. It is 128 King Street in San Francisco, right across the street from Oracle Park. Which is my favorite baseball park to ever have been to. Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, 3:00, family friendly, arcade, kids menu. Come on over and watch the game with us as well too. So I just want to make sure that we reiterate that is our big announcement. The Sprint Right Option podcast will be going live in accordance with Bleacher Report and streaming on the Bleacher Report app.
Perfect. There it is. Boom, Jason. Yeah, man. I mean, that's really it for the Super Bowl week. So, Jason, I want to ask you last question of the show before we get up out of here. How do you feel? how do you feel as not I don't like we talk as content creators all the time. Most of the show is we're content creators. Sometimes we get into the fan stuff. How are you, Jason Aponte, the San Francisco 49er fan, feeling going into Sunday?
Shout out to my guy, man. Hey, and DK, and thank you again for the donation, man. It was very generous. And shout out to my guy, Dro. Hey, it's up and it's stuck, my boy. We out on the left coast going crazy this weekend. And the other Jason, where's the after party when we win? They're in the streets of San Francisco while I'm out there. It's no one will be spared. Don't let this happen. Don't let this happen, man. And Pedro says, make sure everyone likes the stream. How do I feel as a fan? I'll tell you this, Andrew. It's Wednesday. It's about 9:00 on the East Coast. I'm chilling right now.
Yeah.
There's so much more time.
Mhm.
There's still Thursday. There's still Friday. There's still Saturday. You know when it's going to kick in? Kickoff.
Yeah.
Kickoff. That's it. Nothing to be stressed about right now on Wednesday. Nothing to be stressed about. Team's healthy. Kyle's vibing. Sportsbooks seem to think we're going to win. Everyone is kind of on the side of, well, you can't beat Mahomes. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the list. Tom Brady, Joe Burrow. It could be Brock Purdy on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Let's make history. Those are the only 3 quarterbacks to ever beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. I'm chilling. It's Wednesday. No reason to stress yourself out on a Wednesday. None at all. I'm absolutely vibing. Once this is done, I'm about to start watching. I was watching Madden Nation, the old ESPN show on YouTube. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I'm vibing.
God,
I'm not even stressed at all.
Thought of that show in years.
Andrew,
that face I made was like me going back to my childhood because I watched Madden Nation.
They've got all 4 seasons on YouTube, dude. I have been locked in. That's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling fine. And also, I got a flight to catch on Friday. I'm gonna get to hang out, see all of my friends on Saturday, and I get to do, this cool thing on Sunday. I'm vibing. But when his kickoff hits, that's when the small of my back starts to sweat. I can't take a shower at halftime to switch the vibes up. That's when it'll kick in.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm at the same spot. I got a little bit of a cheat. I had a vacation. I was in Seattle. I was up in Vancouver doing just running around the mean streets is what they call Amsterdam up there. And I didn't have much time to really stop and think about the game, but I will tell you this, Jason. You remember that Mitchell and Ness beanie you gave me a couple years ago? That was my hat of choice up in Seattle. I had more people come up to me, go Niners. And by the way, Niner fans in Bay Area, we need to be a little more like Niner fans up in Seattle because I had 0 bang bang Niner gangs to me. I had a lot of let's go Niners. And I prefer let's go Niners over bang bang. I'm tired of bang bang. Love you, E40. Love you, E40. You're great over bang bang Niner gang. But Jason, I had more people come up to me and say, let's go Niners, things like that. Then I saw people wearing Seahawks stuff. Hey. And I guess that's natural because the Seahawks season's been over for a month and a half now. They kind of forgot about them maybe a little bit. The Sounders are coming up, good team up in the MLS team. They got the Kraken. They got things like that. I had more Niner fans come up to me than I saw Seahawk thing. And I see Paul saying he's got bang bang up here in the Pacific Northwest. I did not get a bang bang in the PNW. And I'm very happy about it. But I'm about as relaxed as I can be. Do I wish it was anybody but the Kansas City Chiefs? Absolutely. I wish it wasn't Mahomes. I wish it wasn't them. I think the Ravens are better than the Chiefs. And I know what happened when the Ravens played the Niners a month and a half ago. And I'd rather play the Ravens because they're not the Chiefs. And that's all it is. But is that out there looking for revenge? Drake in the news a little bit here and there, but out there looking for revenge. Is that a big story for me? Not really. Like 2019 was 2019. And you look at because I looked at the rosters back then. The Niners have like 5 players. No, it was 7 players. The Chiefs have like 5 players. But then you look at all the players the Niners didn't have in that game versus now. And it's like Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams, Brandon Ayuk, Brock Purdy, obviously. Charvarius Ward was on the other side. And you look at who the Chiefs have in compared to then. And this is nothing to take away from the Chiefs, but that team was better than this team. The defense is significantly better on this team. Let's be honest. But I think if you're concerned of the 2019 game, don't. The only similarities are they're wearing the same jerseys. It's the same head coaches. I'm not nervous about this game. I'm more confident. Now, is that going to change on Sunday when the ball gets kicked off? Yeah, it is. It's going to be very nerve wracking because it's the Super Bowl. If you're not nervous, you don't have a pulse, and that's just what it is. But in terms of how I'm feeling, Wednesday, February 7th, 6 p.m. West Coast time, 9 p.m. East Coast time, nice. I feel fine. I feel good. I feel fine.
I'm chilling.
Yeah.
It's been set. I've been known for a while who it's going to be. Friday is going to be a very in-depth preview in which, you highlight how the 49ers get this done as opposed to, the big brain thought that I have is just score more points than they do.
Yes, that's simple.
But yeah, Friday's show is going to be very much about, how this gets done, keys to victories, matchups, all those things. And, this is more about right now, like, what's at stake? What's at stake is they asked Kyle Shanahan about his legacy. He said, I don't think about legacy. When I think about legacy, I think about my dad.
Yep.
Good.
That's a good
answer. Look at the game in front of you. Don't worry about what this game means. Just one more game, 60 more minutes. I think this is a long time coming for us. I do remember 1995. Sure, just get your jokes off. I was alive for it. But this one is for everybody who wasn't.
Yeah.
2012, 2013, 2019, 2021, 2022. And here we are, 2023, 2024, with a chance to finally get this thing done. If there was ever a time, if there was ever a team, if there was ever a group, it's this one. So there's a lot at stake. You can say that every single day on every single appearance that you're ever going to do, and, you wouldn't be wrong.
Yeah.
But it's Wednesday, and I'm not going to stress out until the game actually starts. And luckily, you'll be able to see that unfold on Bleacher Report's app. Andrew and I will be unraveling or going crazy in real time. So for the first time ever, you're going to see what it's like to see us watch a game, which these last two have been very quiet. I've been sitting here by myself, not saying anything. But that's got to change because that's not going to be good for the stream. So,
that's what I'm nervous about too. It's like I usually just kind of watch these games, and like part of the reason, Jason, you do a fantastic post game show, but part of the reason I'm not on them too often is because I'm not great like in giving instant thoughts. I kind of need to separate myself, which is why I'm better on Mondays, and like. Mahomes is gonna do something. I'm afraid I'm gonna be like, dog, I'm gonna shoot myself. Like, because like
you can't say stuff
I can't say it. Can't say. Not gonna say it. Not gonna say it.
See, the good news is real quick. The good news is that when the Chiefs have the ball, they're gonna speak.
Yes. Oh yeah. So that's part of it, right? We're gonna have the content creators in Kansas City.
Right.
I wrote down their names. It was Kissel. It was Lewis. And so when the Niners have the ball, Jason and I we're gonna be talking. When the Chiefs have the ball, they're going to be talking.
And then
there's going to be some intersection.
We'll sub in and out, right? Like so like if the 49ers get interception, they'll cut right to us and our reaction. The 49ers score a touchdown, we get to vibe. But we get so it's going to be a very interesting look. Bleacher Reports, they're shooting for the stars with this one. They've never done anything like this, and I can't believe that Andrew and I are going to be a part of this. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I know everyone's going to, be locked in on the game and you want to hear Tony Romo. I get that part. But maybe if you got a little iPad or something like that, you just have the Bleacher Report app on, and you can mute those guys and then just cut us on real quick just so you could see us going crazy. That'll be a cool way for you guys to check it out. Almost like a Manning cast, but it's a sprint right option cast.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a ton of fun, and then ideally, the result of the game makes it more fun, right? Like that. That's just what it comes down to. But guys, we're almost there. We're almost to Sunday. Just enjoy it. You never know how often these are going to happen. The weeks like this, games like this, all that stuff. Just enjoy these last few days because it's either we're going to come out of this and we're going to want to talk about it a lot, or we're going to come out of it and Jason and I we're going to have a podcast on Monday where we're going to be very short, very brief, and we're just going to get out of here.
Or we will talk. It's just I don't think you guys are going to want to hear.
Yeah, like things like that. Yeah. We'll have. I was talking to our contact with BR, and he's like, for post game, both sides are going to stay live, but we're not going to intersect. One will be fun, one will be as he said, a therapy session, and that instantly triggered in my head because, and I straight up told him, "I was like, listen, man, you have two guys who we talked about consecutive NFC Championship game losses. We're pretty decent at this. Like, this really sucks. We got to talk about it.
One of which I attended.
Yes, one of which Jason attended. So like we have some experience, but ideally we create a new experience and get to talk about the Niners winning the last game of the season for once. So
as soon as that's over,
what it is, man.
As soon as that's over and the 49ers have won and we do our Bleacher Report stream and everything,
I might jump in the Cove, to be honest.
No. I'm literally running to the nearest liquor store, buying a bottle of champagne, and I'm going live off my phone on YouTube, and we are gonna run the streets of San Francisco.
That's not even the part I've thought about, dude. Like, just being in San Francisco for a potential Niners Super Bowl win.
Oh. Everybody going crazy, flipping cars and stuff like that. Like, I don't care, man. I'll be climbing light poles and stuff. Like, that's what I want. That's what I want to do. And that's what I'm preparing to do. And again, if you're confident in your team, just remember this: there is no jinxing. You have no bearing on the game. Talk your shit. If you're confident in your team, be confident.
Nope.
That's it. Remember, the game is played by players. Fans can fan however they want. If you're confident, talk your shit, because you are not jinxing this team. There is no such thing.
I think that's a good way to end it right there. Have fun, guys. We will be back on Friday. Oh my God, Jason, the final preview of the season from the Sprint Right Option podcast.
And his team made it exactly where we thought they would make it.
And this team is exactly where we thought they would be. Guys, enjoy it. Have fun. We're going to get up out of here. I cannot wait for Friday. I cannot wait for Sunday. It's going to be a great weekend. Regardless, I'm going to say it, regardless of the result, it's going to be a great weekend, but it can be an even better weekend with the result, if you know what I mean. Jason Aponte, as always.
Go Niners, and waiting all day for Sunday afternoon.
Waiting all day for Sunday. That's the best way to end it right there.
Welcome, everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it. Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners.